Congratulations, Patrick Kane. The Detroit Red Wings have just defeated the Vancouver Canucks 5-1 in Detroit, and one very special Patrick Kane became the 50th player in NHL history to score 500 goals in the process. Not all in the same game, but throughout the course of his career, yeah, if the Canucks lost 500-0, it would be pretty bad. But Kevin Lankinen, of course, would still be better than Jacob Markstrom. Oh, okay, we're not gonna continue down that train of thought. Anyways, Vancouver-Detroit was a game that I was anticipating because, of course, my Vancouver Canucks are not doing all too well this season. We stopped doing the post-games every single game because it seems like y'all don't really care about those videos, to be honest. And, yeah, they're not fun to make. So, there's that. Meanwhile, the Detroit Red Wings have been one of the best teams in the NHL this season. They have been on a heater, and there's a lot to like out of Motown this season. I'm sure if y'all have been paying attention to the Wings and their story, you talk about some of the guys that are scattered throughout the lineup, you talk about some of the guys that are scoring. There is a lot to like out of Detroit and what's been going on this season. And this game was pretty much the best of both worlds for both of these teams. I said earlier in today's show, talking about Elias Pettersson, that I would prefer the Wings to beat Vancouver in regulation, help out with the tank, whilst also give the Red Wings a big 2 points. What I was not expecting was Patrick Kane to go out there and break records and become the 50th NHL player to score 500 goals. Also, in the process, you had some really nice points scored by guys on my fantasy team, so I, of course, am a very happy camper. I literally cheered when Kiefer Sherwood gave the puck up late in the third period, and Lucas Raymond walked right in on a breakaway and scored in meaningless, dead time of the game. I was like, yeah, okay, thank you, just give me a goal. Kevin Lankinen ain't on my fantasy team, Lucas Raymond is, so I care more about Ray. But we had ourselves a 5-1 hockey game. There were a lot of goals. Let's go over each of them and just talk about the dynamic of how things went down. First goal of the game, scored by one Patrick Kane at the end of the first period. Vancouver with an astounding 2 straight penalties to give Detroit a 5-on-3 man advantage. Lucas Raymond drops it off to Patty Kane at the top of the umbrella. Kane waltzes over to the left side, beats the check of both Besser and Tyler Myers, and throws it by Lankinen. Although, to be fair, Besser nor Myers really challenged Kane all too much. They just kind of waved their sticks at him a little bit, and that was it. I mean, there was a lot of space for Kane to just waltz right off to the side and score. Deceptive shot, too. It's one that you could tell Lankinen wasn't expecting to see right away, but it still came, and it ended up beating him. So, 1-0, Detroit, thanks to Patrick Kane, making it 2-0, 5 minutes into the second period. It is none other than Axel Sandin-Pellikka, who has been on fire in these games against the Vancouver Canucks this season. You have JT Compher freeing the puck up to James Van Riemsdyk at the low corner. He then tosses it back over into the slot, where Axel Sandin-Pellikka skates onto it. He walks in, he shoots, and he fires a laser beam top corner on Kevin Lankinen, making it 2-1. Just 2 minutes after that is Jake DeBrusk on the power play. Vancouver getting some opportunities, admittedly, but this one goes in as Kiefer Sherwood feeds it back over to Besser on the half wall. Besser down low to Sherwood once more, in front for DeBrusk, who fires a 1T, and it squeaks under the pad of John Gibson. Not really a goal that you would like to see Gibson give up. He wasn't in the butterfly as it escaped right through the wickets there. But that doesn't really last for too long, as just 3 minutes later, you have JT Compher taking advantage of some extreme zone time for the Red Wings in the Vancouver Canucks end. Eventually, Myers and the other D-man get their signals crossed. JT Compher is left all alone right in front, and James Van Riemsdyk from behind the goal line feeds a beautiful no-look backhand behind-the-back pass to Compher, who is right in front. He one-times it by Lankinen, and that's all she wrote for the period. Third period sees Patty Kane scoring his 500th goal of his career on the empty net before a big celebration ensues. You see the entire Red Wings bench leave the seats and go up to Patty Kane. They all hug the guy. It's amazing, the moment there in Detroit. Good on him for getting this accomplishment done at home. And then Lucas Raymond, just 2 minutes after the empty net goal is scored, Kiefer Sherwood has a little oopsie in his own zone, fumbles the puck and falls down as he's circling back and trying to retreat. So Lucas Raymond picks the puck up, comes in on goal, 5-hole breakaway, he scores. It's a beautiful play and his second goal of the night. Thank you very much, Lucas Raymond, for the fantasy team support. Detroit walks out of this game up 5-1, and I don't think anybody is really going to be complaining about how the game was played, although maybe Canucks fans probably would be, but then again, it's like, I don't know what there is to feel for Vancouver Canucks fans at this point. Like, they played fine. They had some chances. They just couldn't beat the goaltender. Vancouver had a number of opportunities that I felt they could have buried. The Brock Besser backdoor play from Elias Pettersson was one that I actually thought should have been a goal, but Brock just totally mishandled it and didn't shoot. It's getting to a point now where I feel like Besser is no longer a reliable goal-scoring option for this team. I walked away out of that specific play when Petey came in on the 2-on-1 and centered it. I was like, yeah, rookie Besser would have scored that. Rookie Besser, on a little one-time chip play on the back door, he would have found a way to put that by the goaltender and by John Gibson. It wouldn't be a missed opportunity. There were some other chances that Vancouver had that just went wide. They were missing the net a lot. Detroit ultimately capitalized on their opportunities too. It's how hockey is played sometimes, but at times you can really feel that some teams are just more in control, more cohesive, and better than others. So, with that in mind, if you're a Canucks fan, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the way this team played against Detroit and how they've been playing the past few games? You've got Vancouver dropping games to Buffalo. They lost to Boston in overtime. I mean, we haven't been making too many videos these days about the Canucks and their losses because, as we had mentioned, there doesn't really seem to be too much traction on these anymore, which is understandable, right? I mean, it's kind of a Debbie Downer situation every time we bring up how the Canucks are continuously losing, but I guess this is the territory. Talk about the prospects and talk about the trades. Do not necessarily talk about the games because that is depression on ice. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this Red Wings game versus Vancouver? It's a 5-1 Detroit victory. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on. And bye.